County Board of Commissioners will come to order. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, Mr. Chair.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Mr. Chair.
Good morning. All right. First on the agenda, additions or deletions to the agenda.
Morning, Mr. Chair. One add to the agenda prior to item 8. I'd like to add a tobacco license request by the Dollar General and Piers be presented by Nate Bertram. And one change to the packet today in public notice shown as February 11th at 10:30. Tour of Autumn Hills. That tour will actually take place at 1 o'clock today. And the address is 1280 180th Street in Long Prairie.
Copy that.
I'll make a motion to approve the additions or deletions of the agenda.
Motion made by Commissioner Wincher,
I'll make a motion to second it.
second by Commissioner Moran. Discussion? Now, is this to make the amendment or is this to approve the agenda as amended?
As amended, yep.
Got a motion, got a second. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Employee introductions.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I have two to introduce today, and we'll start with the Veteran Service Office and Nick Potter.
I get to talk into that guy.
Mr. Chair, good morning.
Good morning.
Commissioners, good morning. Nick Potter, I'm a retired active duty, 20 years, Army helicopter pilot, and now looking forward to working with Chris and Jim in the Veteran Service Office and helping our veterans here in the county.
Great.
Thank you.
Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
It's his second day, and he
Second.
is still smiling.
Thanks.
So he did a great job on the interview. Just so you all know, there was 29 candidates for the job.
Wow.
And so I just feel
That's
blessed
great.
that this community loves veterans.
Yep.
So asset to the team, another veteran, so it's a great way to start the
Yeah.
Start a
Randy,
new
you can
job.
ask your question?
I was thinking about it, so I'm assuming you live in Morrison County?
Yes, sir, Little Falls.
All right, way to go.
This is a new form of combat for you.
It is a little more low-key. So
That was, I was asking you to move to Morrison County.
I
Still
live-
gotta have your eye to the sky.
What's that?
Still gotta have your eye to the sky.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And do you keep up your pilot's license?
I do. I still have a commercial helicopter license. So I don't fly anymore. I got some back issues now, but I do still maintain the license just for certification. So.
Well,
So you
well,
get free rides if we ask you to come out somewhere to campus?
I mean, I'd have to go take a check ride, but I could probably take everybody up.
All right,
I've got the helicopter.
Yeah, as long as you pay for the gas.
well, welcome aboard.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks,
Thanks,
Nick.
Chris.
Thanks, Chris.
Have a great day.
You too. Good work, you guys.
And one other one, Mr. Chair, Jessica and Health Human Services. Shannon's coming on up with her, Jessica.
Morning, Shannon. Morning, Jessica.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This is Jessica Kowalczyk. She closes out the rest of our office support team. So we are fully staffed. Yay.
Hey.
So yeah, Jessica's been with us for a few weeks now, and she's doing wonderful, and we're happy to have her on our team.
Welcome aboard.
Welcome aboard, Jessica.
I'm excited as well.
And I won't ask the question if you live in Morrison County.
I do. Right in
Again,
town.
welcome aboard. May you have many good years here. So again, we appreciate you coming and hope everything works out for you.
Yeah,
You
I'm
bet.
excited to be here.
great.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
God bless you.
Thanks for that, Matt. Next on the agenda, approval of the consent agenda. Gentlemen, anything that you would like removed for further discussion?
Mr. Chair, I'll make a motion that we approve the consent agenda as presented.
Motion made by Commissioner Blaine,
I can second.
second by Commissioner Casper. Discussions? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Oh, yeah, she did. She hit me to do that, too. Commissioner Blaine?
Aye.
Commissioner Casper?
Aye.
Commissioner Wincher?
Aye.
Commissioner Moran?
Aye.
Myself, aye. Motion carried. Sorry about that, Tabitha. Public Works Report. Morning, Tony.
Morning, Tone.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Good morning, Commissioners. Tony Hedden, Public Works Director. I have one item for you this morning. We're going to review our Contract 320. This is our paving projects for the year. We had a bid of letting last week and received some very favorable numbers. All right, if you take a look there, these are our paving our paving roads this year. We have a variety of them. So it's going to include our project number SAP 049611011, SAP 049614014, CP 049237014, CP 049238201, and CP 049245003. So a variety of paving roads throughout the county. Like I said, we received very favorable very favorable numbers. If we go to the next one, Matt, we'll look at their abstract. There we are. So on this project, we had 4 qualifying bids. We actually had 5 bidders. One of the bids was thrown out. It was had some errors in it that were significant, so we could not accept that. So you're not seeing that bidder on the list. These are the 4 qualifying bidders. We had Knife River Anderson, RJ Zavrel, and Mark Sand and Gravel. As we look at the numbers, we had a low bid of $3,595,121.08. And our highest bidder was Mark Sand and Gravel, $4,295,366.59. So kind of an array there. All the bids were underneath our engineer's estimate. We were very pleasantly surprised with the bidding environment, the interest in the project, and then obviously these kind of bid numbers are, very good for the county. We're very happy to receive them. I would recommend the board to award this project to the lowest bidder, to Knife River Corporation, the North Central office, at a bid amount of $3,595,121.08.
What is the wish of the board?
I would make a motion to accept that bid.
Motion made by Commissioner Casper, second by Commissioner Wincher. Discussion? Nice seeing the 18% below the engineer's estimate.
Yes, it was, we were pretty surprised when those numbers were open. Some of those bid prices were even lower than what we received last year. So kind of a culmination of things. We had a lot of bidders interested in the project. We were letting pretty early. And then some favorable oil prices and stuff like that. Different contractors operate differently, whether they're locking in their oil prices from the year before and diesel and stuff like that. But very happy to see them. And again, a local contractor, providing our work for Morrison County, which is always nice to see as well.
And I think you should take some credit, you and your guys that you work for, or that work for you, should take some credit for being prepared and getting these bid lettings out early. I think that's part of this too, so thank you for that.
Absolutely. Yeah, we're very fortunate to have a phenomenal engineering staff, led by DJ Prom and John Kostreba and our handful of engineering techs. They work very hard for the county. Even at this point, we're starting to work through next year's program and start some of that work as we speak. So.
Commissioner Blaine?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Tony, is this the entirety of the paving that we will do this summer?
No, sir. We have 2 more contracts. This will be the entirety of our state aid funded projects. However, we have 2 federal contracts that we've been waiting for authorization on. So that'll be our 256, which is a joint project with the Little Falls Township, and then our stuff a little bit further north, a federal project on 202 and 203. So roughly another 29,000 ton on top of this we'll be performing. Yesterday afternoon, we finally received authorization for that, so we'll be working through our proposals here, and you'll start seeing those advertised, anticipating a mid to late March letting on those 2 contracts, and that'll be our final bituminous for the year.
Thank you, sir.
Any other questions, Commissioner Wincher?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. If I may, again, this is not new to us. We had a meeting about this coming forward here at the meeting today. But my question, and it was brought up at our Public Works meeting, how do you come to this 18% below your bid? So if you could give a brief explanation how you do that.
So when we're putting together our estimates, we're trying to gauge where contractors are going to be so we can allocate our funds appropriately and make decisions. This year, we were actually a little nervous about what prices were going to be. We saw some labor jumps in our prevailing wage that's required to pay on some of these jobs. We weren't sure with the political climate how that would affect prices. So what we typically do is we look at last year's prices, where those came in at. We'll take an aggregate of those, and then we also look at not necessarily futures, but what's happening around us. So other places that have had their bid lettings, we'll see what kind of prices they're getting and try to make an educated estimate, and that's why you call it an engineer's estimate. Typically we always shy on the conservative end, because we're trying to allocate our funds appropriately and award these projects. So say I was very aggressive in our bid estimates and estimated really low, and those prices came in much, much higher than what we estimated, we'd have some decisions to make on whether or not we could award that contract. So we're usually very conservative in our estimates. This year, we're very surprised with these numbers, but obviously very happy to receive them.
Thanks for that explanation, appreciate it.
So like this, on to what Randy was saying, that what we have before us here, is that kind of what they bid off of then too?
Yes, so what you're seeing, those are all their numbers. So you'll see on the engineer's estimate, the furthest left column, that's our engineer's estimate. So those are the numbers that we're estimating the projects to come in at. So if you look at, we'll start on the first one, that SAP 049-611-011. So this is our CASA 11. And so we have our quantities, which would be your description side, so your mobilization, your haul road restoration, shoulder prep, so on and so on. Our large items are obviously the paving. That's the big item on most of these contracts, and that's really what dictates what your bid prices are gonna come in at. So you can see we came in at that $63. Last year we were typically receiving bids in the upper 50s to low 60s. So we added a little bit to that. That's where we came in and said, $63 would be a pretty fair representation. Knife River, we spoke to them after the contract. They came in at $53 a ton on their hot mix. Outstanding pricing. We're really, really happy to see that. A couple different things are happening in the background. So Knife River has a lot of work in the area. They have the 238 project. They have the 25s work. So they've already, made significant investments in their aggregates in the area. So they've had a lot of this material stockpiled. So we're probably seeing a little bit of price decrease from them having already large quantities of work in the area. So, picking up our amount of work just adds to their season. So that's probably what we're seeing a little bit there. But as you kind of go across, you can see your different numbers. Anderson Brothers was sitting around 57. Zavril, that's a company out of East Grand Forks. So I'm not sure how they were bidding their aggregates. On these contracts, we do open our county-owned material pits, and if a contractor were to use them, they'd pay a royalty to use our materials. But what that does is it allows companies that aren't in our area to be competitive in their bidding. But you can kind of see their numbers. They were sitting at that 58.89 a ton. Then Marks Sand and Gravel, I believe they're out of Fergus Falls area. They're around that 56. Some of our other ones, 14, that project, or 1411 are in the same area, so you're seeing very similar numbers on that. Kind of what makes up a lot of their numbers is how close they can set their bituminous plant to where the work is. So when you think about it, you have your plant set, and then the labor, the equipment, and the fuel costs. So if your plant is set in the northern part of the county and we're paving in the southern part of the county, you're gonna see a lot higher labor costs and a lot higher diesel costs and a lot higher equipment costs because it takes them to move that material down there. So a good example of that would be, you go to 049-245-003, and you can kind of watch our bituminous numbers come across there. So we were thinking around $65 is what we estimated there. Knife River came in at 57. Anderson Brothers was at 60. Zavril's 57. However, Marks Sand and Gravel is sitting at 69. So it's kind of what that tells me. They most likely had a longer haul to that area from what they were planning on doing. So, but a lot of this, aggregates are a big thing on these kind of contracts. That's really what dictates where these prices come in. So where they have different aggregate resources, it just really shows the value of that in Center County. Morris County is very fortunate. We have a lot of aggregate pits, or gravel pits in our county. And that helps keep a lot of our materials very competitive as compared to elsewhere.
Great, thank you. Any other questions, gentlemen? Hearing none, this will be a roll call. Commissioner Winter?
Aye.
Commissioner Moran?
Aye.
Myself, aye. Commissioner Blaine?
Aye.
Commissioner Casper?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Mr. Chair, that's all I have unless there's any other questions from the
Thank you,
board.
Tony.
Thanks, Tony.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Tony. I'll be calling you.
Administrators report.
Mr. Chair, I have our added item at this time with Health and Human Services, request for tobacco license.
Morning, Nate.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, Commissioners. Nathan Bertram, Health and Human Services Director. I have before you today a tobacco license, came in this morning, actually, and it's a little behind schedule. We try to get those all done in January. You've probably seen them on the consent agenda here over the last month. We were working with the corporate office of the Dollar General, I guess, in Piers, Minnesota, to try to get this license in over the course of last month, and it's here today, and so I'd be looking for approval to sign this and let them move on with their business.
What is the wish of the board?
Motion to approve, Mr. Chair.
Motion made by Commissioner Blaine, second by Commissioner
I'll make motion second it.
Moran. Discussion? Commissioner Casper?
Mr. Chair. Yeah, Nate, question to you. What does that entail, a tobacco license?
So these come due at the turn of the year, so there's obviously different rules and pieces that they have to have in the background, but in short, the license comes to us. If you are all in favor and approving of it, then we sign off and it goes to the state, who then actually issues the license, is my understanding. That's the short version.
Okay. So what types of tobacco? Are we talking just your basic cigarettes and
Cigarettes.
Copenhagen?
Copenhagen, chew, yeah, well, vape, I would imagine as well now falls
Okay.
into that category, so.
Very good. Thank you, Nate. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Any other discussion? We got a motion, got a second. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Is that it, Nate? Oh,
Mr. Chair, if I may.
absolutely.
Since I'm up here, so 2 weeks ago at board, we were talking about cannabis events, and we had some questions on that, and since then, I've had a chance to meet with County Attorney Mittendorf, who reviewed this and compared and contrast with some other counties. As now we are into 2025, some of the other counties are starting to post what their ordinances look like as well. In discussion, we felt that we should potentially reopen our ordinance discussion at some point, and so over the course of the next month or so, I will be reviewing some other counties that Attorney Mittendorf pointed out, looking specifically at our cannabis event section of our ordinance, section 4. And so I would probably be looking to bring that to you all in a planning session, probably tail end of March is probably gonna be the time frame that I'll have that ready. And then we can talk there for about further details and next steps as far as opening up for public hearing, et cetera.
Very good. Any questions, gentlemen?
That'd be good.
No, it sounds like a good idea. I mean, we're in new territory too, so it's understandable that we might have to go back in there.
Yep.
Will that be just you, or will Amy be involved too?
I don't anticipate Amy being involved in this, because this is really more about the ordinance on the retail and the cannabis events. It's not anything to do with planning and zoning, and so I don't anticipate Amy, but if something, I guess, kind of trickles that way, then we'll bring her into the fold.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you, Nate.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
Okay.
Administrator LeBlanc?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. One item on the agenda, and I'll ask Kurt to come forward.
Morning, Mr. Chair, morning, Commissioners.
Good morning, Kurt.
Kurt Bernarski, CFO. It's a quick time to grab from you today is scheduling the Budget Committee meeting for the next couple weeks here. I'm tentatively looking at February 25th, following the board meeting that day. And this one, at this budget committee, we go over the final report of 2024's financials. So if that works for everybody, we'll get that on the
Looks
books.
good for me.
What, February, what?
February 25th,
After our county board meeting?
yes. yeah.
I'm
I'll
not gonna
have
be
the-
here that day, but
Well, we can reschedule it. What other day do you have?
I'm
We
not
can
gonna be here
go
that day.
March 4th, is that the next planning?
It'll work for me if it works for
Yep.
you guys.
Works for me.
Yeah, after planning.
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right, sorry about that.
Budget.
No, no
No,
problem.
fine.
That's
perfect.
Everybody's got,
My
everybody's
last
got
part
schedules.
wants to-
And I'll have the 2024 financial report out by the end of this week, so it'll give you some time to come up with any questions you have for me, and I'll get them answered, so.
And then we get to start off for 2026
Yeah,
budgeting.
yeah. Thank you.
Mr.
That's all
Chair,
I
we'll
have.
advertise that to start at 9 o'clock. We can start after, just not before. So without knowing what that agenda is, we'll just show it as that.
Very
9 o'clock on the 4th of March, budget meeting.
Perfect.
That's all I have, Mr. Chair, if there's anything for me.
Anything else?
Good.
Thanks, Kurt.
Thank you, Kurt. Have a great day.
I have nothing else for the board, Mr. Chair.
Very good. Committee reports.
Dates,
last
what's the
time.
dates?
February 16th through March 1st.
I go first. Go for it. President's Day. On February 18th, planning session, 8:30. Ditch meeting, 9 o'clock. PCBOA. It says 4 o'clock. I know it must be 6 o'clock, huh?
It's 6.
19th, Public Health, 4:30 boardroom. 20th, nothing. 25th, board meeting, 9 o'clock. Oh, I'm sorry. On the 19th, HRA at 9 o'clock. That's it for me.
Want me to go?
Yep, we'll go right down the line.
Okay.
On February 20th, Thursday, February 20th at 7 PM, the Egg Society will meet here. The following Thursday, February 27th at 6 PM, the Commission of Region 5 Economic Development will meet at 6 PM. That is all I have, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Commissioner Casper?
Yes, Mr. Chair, on Tuesday, the 18th, I have a debate going whether I'm going to be down at Great River Regional Library. I'm going to talk to them. That'd be 5 o'clock in the afternoon. And then the other couple ones is going to the Hill, to Capitol Hill, Great River Regional Library on the 20th. And then that evening at 6 o'clock PM, Minnesota Pipeline over in Foley at the Sable Inn. And I believe that's it. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you. Commissioner Winter?
Okay, just give you an update on the 18th of planning, at the 6 o'clock, there is no planning commission, it's just Board of Adjustments. So just to put that out there.
Bobby's.
Yeah, in Agram Township, it's yours.
That's weird.
And then we have extension at 5:30 on the 24th, on Monday.
Of February?
Yep. And then moving forward, soil and water at Friday on the 28th, 8 o'clock. And that fills me up, takes care of me.
Thank you. Commissioner Moran?
Wednesday, the 19th, Hands of Hope, 5 o'clock in the evening. And Wednesday, the 26th, AMC Legislative Conference down in the city.
Very good.
Mr. Chair, just a couple other items for the calendar. On the 17th is recognized holiday for the Government Center here, and we'll be closed, except for our emergency services and our other 24/7 operations. And then just to note that the 26th and 27th of February is the AMC Legislative Conference.
Very good. Anything else? Gentlemen?
That's it.
Hearing none, meeting adjourned.